What the rich don't tell you is that making a lot of money does not have to be hard. In fact, the richest of the rich probably aren't even working. They're probably out playing tennis or pickleball, or they're out on their yacht in the middle of winter exploring the Mediterranean. So today we're going to talk about how you can get rich to live the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of too. And by the way, these tips are going to be applicable to more than just making money. If you want to attract certain other things into your life as well, these tips will definitely apply. It is honestly never too late to decide that you want to attract something into your life. To be completely honest with you guys, I feel like my energy has been in such a weird, kind of negative place this year, literally starting from the beginning of the year, from losing a family member to finding out I had a pregnancy complication to some stuff going on elsewhere in my life as well. And overall, I would say it's just been a mental battle, a mental struggle, and I've just been in a little bit of a negative place. But it is time to freaking change that. It is March 6th, and like I said, it is never too late to reconnect, recenter your goals, maybe set some new goals or bigger or loftier goals. And that's exactly what I want to do today. I honestly feel like the financial goals that I set myself at the end of 2023 for 2024 were a little bit lame, honestly. I feel like I was dreaming a little bit too small, and so today I want to change them. My biggest goal is that I want to have my first ever 5-figure month this year in 2024. But along with that, I want to be consistently getting over 10,000 views on my YouTube videos, and I want to reach over 100,000 YouTube subscribers so I can get that YouTube plaque. There's a few other ones, I'll talk about them in a minute, but those are just a few. And honestly, they're pretty lofty for me. Regardless of whatever your career path is or what your goals are, you can have whatever you desire. And I wanted to give you guys the blueprint that I am using, like step-by-step guide, exactly what I'm doing to make these things happen, which again for me is to have my first ever 5-figure month this year. Again, just to be clear, it does not have to be financially related. This is just kind of what I want to focus on for myself and for this video, but it could be things like attracting new friendships into your life, finding your soulmate and the person that you end up marrying, or maybe even goals for your physical health. Like I said, my biggest focus right now is on my personal finances, so that's what I wanted to just kind of make like the focus of this video. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it. Step number one is that we have to completely rewire our brain and way of thinking. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this is probably the hardest step out of all of these because we have to, first of all, identify what our negative beliefs are and then go about actually changing them, which a lot of these beliefs have been like hardwired, deeply ingrained into our minds and into our heart. They are so ingrained in us for a variety of reasons, and it's nobody's fault in particular. For the example of money, maybe it's that you often heard your parents or your grandparents or whoever saying that money doesn't grow on trees and that's how the other half lives. And it could have come from other places too, not just our parents. It could have come from teachers telling you that you have to pick a realistic career path or a realistic goal for yourself rather than dreaming big. It could have come from TV shows that we watched, or it could have come from our friends or our friends' parents even. Or maybe instead of how your parents talked about money, it was the fact that they just didn't talk about money, and so it made it feel really like taboo and something that is bad and foreign and that we just don't talk about because it's like a bad thing. It can really be anything, but the point of this step is to first identify what our negative limiting beliefs about money or relationships or whatever actually is so that we can rewire them. And like I said, this is very, very difficult, so you're gonna probably have to spend some time really thinking about what those things are. So here's what we're gonna do. Time for the physical exercise. We are going to find a piece of paper, and on one side of the piece of paper, we're gonna write down all of the limiting beliefs that we have about this thing that we want to attract into our life. If it's money, if it's riches, if it's multiple vacation homes, if it's a six-pack abs, if it's a loving, happy marriage, write down whatever limiting beliefs you have about that thing. Here are a few examples that come to mind for me. Rich people are assholes. Being wealthy is difficult to achieve. Having a vacation home is how the other half lives. So just spend some time, brainstorm, identify whatever those negative beliefs are about money or whatever it is that you want to attract into your life. Once you're done with that, we're going to flip the page over, and on the other side of the page, we're going to now reframe that negative belief. So for example, where I had written rich people are assholes, maybe on the other side of the page, I'm going to write rich people have the means and funds to change the world in a positive way. Instead of being wealthy is difficult to achieve, write money flows to me easily and effortlessly. And instead of the one about having a vacation home is how the other half lives, write having a vacation home allows me to spend quality time with the people that I love in multiple places that I love. So once you've done that, you're going to want to take this piece of paper that you've challenged your negative beliefs on, rewired them and reframed them into something positive, and put it somewhere that you're going to look at every every single day. For me, this might be like on my desk, maybe like a sticky note on the screen of my computer or in my bathroom. And the point of that is so that you can reread these positive beliefs every time you're starting to have self-doubt, starting to feel those negative beliefs creep back in. And honestly, just writing this down, doing this exercise one time is probably not going to just magically change your beliefs about money or relationships or whatever, because they are so deeply ingrained in us that it can be really hard to challenge these and truly believe that these other things are possible for us. So just be patient and know that it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of practice of reminding yourself that these things are possible for you and they're good and they're positive and you are worthy of them. All right, so step one was really doing all that energy work and identifying kind of where the negativity was coming from in the first place and then flipping it to be more positive. And I think we can definitely move on to step two while we're continuously working on step one, because at least for me, I know that it's kind of always going to be like a work in progress of remembering and reminding myself that these negative beliefs are not true. So for step two, we need to get super specific about what exactly we want to attract into our lives. If it's money, how much money? Be as specific as you can. I gave you my example at the beginning of this video, which was that I want to start making 5-figure months by the end of this year. And if I'm being completely honest, my real goal is a lot bigger than that. You know, I want to be having 6-figure months. I want to be making $1 million a year from my YouTube channel, but this 5-figure number felt a little bit more achievable and realistic for this year in 2024, for me at least. So that's what I wanted to make my focus for now. That means making $10,000 at least from my various income streams. And I've made plenty of videos about my different income streams. I actually plan on making kind of a monthly video on those topics going forward. So if you're curious about my various income streams, you guys can go check out one of those videos. But the point is that this $10,000 for me can look like a lot of different ways. It could be $4,000 from YouTube ad revenue, and then it's $5,500 from brand partnerships, and then another $500 from affiliate marketing or something like that. It could look like something completely different that I haven't even thought of yet. So it can look like a lot of different things. And the important thing here is to focus on the number and the what and actually let go of the how. So for now, don't worry about like how this is going to happen. Don't pick your goals and be like, oh, there's no way this is going to happen. That's way too out there, whatever. Don't worry about the how, just worry about what and be as specific as you can. So next, on another piece of paper, I want you to write down all of these super specific goals that you have for yourself and attach numbers to it if you can, if it's possible. Like, I want to make 2 new best friends by the end of 2024, or I want to achieve this specific goal weight by the end of 2024. Make it as specific as you can and attach numbers to it. So some of the things that I wrote down for my list is I want to be making $10,000 per month. I want 10,000 views per video minimum. I want to achieve 100,000 YouTube subscribers. I want to achieve 10,000 TikTok followers. I want to achieve 5,000 Instagram followers. I want to have $60,000 in my emergency fund for Chris and I, for our family. And I want to buy a second car. This one is a little bit open-ended for me, but I'm targeting a car somewhere between 25 and 35K, and I don't really care that much what the car is. I just know that I really want to get a new car, a second car for our family, and my budget range is between 25 and 35K. All right, so now that we know exactly what we want to attract into our life, we need to make sure we have a little bit of a connection as to why. I can't emphasize this enough. This is actually super important, because while having a specific number attached to them gives us something specific to grasp onto, what's going to actually make us take action on these is having really strong feelings attached to them as well. Why do you want a vacation home? Is it because you always went there when you were little and you have all of these really fun memories and you want to be able to take your kids there every single year, every single December, let them, you know, feel the warm sand, swim with sea turtles, and make memories that you got to make as a child, and maybe be able to pass that property on to your children one day or your grandchildren, etc. For me, making 5 figures per month will do a lot of things. It will allow Chris and I to get back to building our emergency fund, which we have not been able really to contribute to since I got laid off a year and a half ago almost. It will allow us to put money aside for our first baby to have a college fund, which is something I really want to be able to do for her. It will allow me and Chris to live a lifestyle that we enjoy a little bit further. And again, can be a little bit more specific here. For me, this means being able to go on trips without having to worry about finances and money and budgeting and things like that. It will allow me to go out to eat to dinner without having to be super stressed about money. It'll allow me to go visit my family family as much as I want, especially because they don't live here in Vegas with me. And it will allow me to hire a house cleaner, which is something that I have always really wanted to do. Making $10,000 a month will just overall reduce stress for me because it will help us be a little bit more lenient with our finances. It will help us be able to live a lifestyle that we love and overall just like not stress about meeting finances and things like that. So for everything that you wrote down in your last step, really think about why you want those things and feel it, like really feel why you want those things. All right, so as sort of a sub-step to this, we really want to also spend some time thinking about what it would actually feel like to achieve these things. So a good one, for example, for me is the 100,000 subscribers goal. What would it feel like to get that plaque in the mail? Just sit down, maybe close your eyes or journal about it, whatever. Just think about, visualize what it would actually feel like to open the box, pull out the plaque, and be so freaking proud of yourself, so freaking excited because you did that. If it is that you really want to book your dream vacation to Italy, what would it feel like to actually book the flight, be on the vacation, be experiencing the best food of your life and things like that? Just visualize it, think about it, think about how it would actually feel to achieve those things and spend some time like in that. I think this is so important because again, it really attaches the emotion to the number and to the thing that you want to attract into your life. It can be really easy to say, you know, I want to have 100,000 subscribers, but why do you even really want that? And what would it actually feel like and mean to you to achieve those things? So just to recap, once you've written down the what and the things that you want, you're going to take a few minutes to write down the why and then really just sit in that, think about it, visualize it, and what would it actually feel like to achieve those things. All right, and the final step, this is another important one. Of course, these are all important. These are all critical to getting there. That step is to start taking action. So you need to start thinking about the things that you can do now, start doing today, both energetically and physically, that will get you closer to and move you towards the direction of the things that you want. And to be honest with you guys, some of these things and actions might be a little bit outside of the box, might be a little different than you expected. So you really need to spend some time actually thinking about what steps you really need to take in order to get there. Some of them might be super straightforward and some of them might be a little bit unique. Think about the version of you that already has these things. So for me, the version of myself that is already making $10,000 a month from her YouTube channel. Or if it's that you want to be in a really happy marriage, think about the version of yourself that's already in a happy marriage. Or if it's that you want to be in the best shape of your life, what does the person who already has six-pack abs do every single day? What do each of these people do every single day that makes them that person? Do they cave into every McDonald's or Taco Bell craving? Or do they meal prep and stick to their meal plan? Do they watch trash TV every night or do they work on their side hustles? Do they prioritize time with friends or do they prioritize time with their spouse or partner? So let's use me and my example and some actionable steps that I personally am taking that I think would move me towards this goal. And the way I like to think about this is asking myself questions basically around this version of myself. So let me give you an example. How does the version of myself making $10,000 a month feel about her physical space around her? My answer would be she absolutely loves it because it is clean and tidy, and she absolutely loves the decor because she spent tons of time and energy making it a space that she absolutely loves. This version of myself, she has house cleaners that come maybe once a week to clean things up and tidy and, you know, dust and all of those things because I don't like to do that. So that's kind of the answer to the question. So now I need to start thinking about what can I do today in order to be closer to that spot tomorrow and the next day to ultimately get to that point, right? So for me right now, of course, I can't exactly afford to hire house cleaners every single week, but a clean and tidy space is something that I think that this version of myself has. So yeah, I'm gonna have to spend a little bit of time doing the cleaning and such around the house. Maybe I can afford to hire a house cleaner that comes once a month instead of once a week, and slowly over time increase their, you know, amount of time spent cleaning the house so that it becomes closer and closer to that goal, to that version of myself. With the house decor and stuff like that, of course I don't have the funds to completely renovate our house and do all the renovations I want to do here, but I might have, you know, enough funds to replace this rug, which I've been wanting to do, and replace our headboard, which I've been wanting to do, and like redo our bedding in here, stuff like that. That's probably only going to be, you know, a couple $100s of an investment versus completely renovating like our kitchen, for example. So just think about like small steps that you can take now that would get you closer to that version of yourself. But let's give you guys another example of a question that I'm asking myself, which is how does the version of myself that is making 10K a month feel about her bank account or feel about looking at her bank account? And the reason I bring this up is because I literally looked at my bank account yesterday and I felt stressed when I opened it. I started feeling all this anxiety, stress, worry, and that's not how I want to feel when I open my bank account. The version of myself that's that's making 10K a month. She's celebrating every single penny that comes into her bank account from any source, whether that be, you know, interest accrued on her savings, or, you know, money that got transferred in from a brand partnership, or YouTube paying me. So she celebrates those exciting things. She looks at her bank account with excitement and passion and pride. So things I can start doing today, of course, I'm not having $10,000 hit my bank account every month, but I am having, you know, maybe $200 from a brand deal, or I'm having a couple $1,000s from Google AdSense. So I want to be just kind of reframing my mind when I open my bank account and celebrating all the money flowing into it. The final question I had for myself was, how does someone making 10K a month spend her evening free time? And this can actually apply to a lot of you guys with 9-to-5 jobs that want to have side hustles. Maybe instead the question is slightly different, and it's, how does somebody making 10K a month spend their 5 to 9 after their 9-to-5? For me, it's not mindless scrolling. That doesn't mean I can't use TikTok or Instagram, but it means when I am scrolling, I'm being intentional and I'm limiting my time, and I'm using that time to find inspiration for other content ideas for myself. For me, it's spending time reading books and expanding my mind rather than like watching TV. Or maybe it's going for walks outside that also energizes me and refills my cup. Here's a few other questions to ponder. What does a person with abs do to prepare their meals for the week ahead? How does a person with a healthy marriage prioritize time with their partner? What does a person making $1 million a year do in all of their free time? Or what does a person making $10,000 a month do that makes them feel like they actually have an excess of money? Then we start doing the things that we identified. Like just start doing them. Start doing them now. If the thing that I identified was that I absolutely love my space, then I'm gonna start taking action to make my space feel like a space that a rich person might have. Start taking care of it, tidy it up, organize it, redecorate it, to make it all the things that you truly want it to be. If it was to feel excitement when I check my bank account, then start getting comfortable checking your bank account and start celebrating the little amounts of money that start flowing into you. You guys get where I'm going with this? So take your time, figure out what your steps are, and start doing them. All right, and it's time for my bonus tip. That one is keep going. Listen, there will be tough times. This is not going to be easy, smooth sailing 24/7. There will be times that you want to give up, but you must remember that good things take time. And a great example is that abs don't happen overnight. You're not going to get abs from one gym session and eating one salad. It's going to take months and months of repetition, of getting in the habit of going to the gym 4 times a week, 5 times a week, of getting steps, walking outside, of eating healthy meals and planning your meals ahead so that you aren't tempted to go out to McDonald's or Taco Bell or whatever. It takes months and months and months of work to finally get to a place where you actually visualized and wanted to be. So you're gonna have to practice a little bit of patience and know that it's gonna take a little bit of time. Same thing for like getting abs and physical goals applies to your financial goals as well. Just keep working towards them so that these ambitious, crazy dreams and goals of yours can actually become a reality. Honestly, I might just rewatch this video like once a month to hold myself accountable and remind myself of the motivation and passion and excitement I'm feeling right now. Just do whatever you need to do to make these goals happen. But you guys, that is it. That is my entire blueprint. I really believe that it's possible. Like it doesn't seem that out of the question. It doesn't seem that crazy. I just need to put in the work and believe that it's actually possible, something that I can achieve, and really rewire my brain to be a little delulu and make it happen, you know? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like these like inspirational money habits, attracting wealth into your life type of talks, make sure you hit the thumbs up button or leave a comment down in the comments box. I love hearing from you guys and I love chatting with you down there. So make sure you guys do leave a comment if you enjoyed this video. That is it, and I will catch up with you next time.